Jim Acosta comes unglued, asks Trump's most absurd question of entire press conference. One of the consistent narratives pushed by the liberal media is that President Donald Trump is an unhealthy person, unfit for office, morbidly obese and mentally unstable individual who has no business being president. Those suppositions and theories should have largely been put to rest Tuesday following an extensive briefing with the media by the physician to the president, Navy Rear Admiral Drive Ronnie Jackson, who discussed the findings of an extensive physical examination Friday and took questions for nearly an hour. And boy, did he take questions, some of which were incredibly dumb and unworthy of an answer, though Jackson patiently humored the White House press corps and answered all of their ridiculous queries. Those dumb questions covered topics that ranged from the president's diet and exercise to the specifics of the cognitive test he aced, his actual weight, the amount of golf he played, his hours of TV watched, and number of scoops of ice cream he was permitted to eat, as well as the doctor's specific role if the 25th Amendment was ever invoked to remove Trump from office. But perhaps the most shockingly absurd question of all came from none other than CNN's Jim Acosta, who seemingly questioned the honesty of the doctor and how forthcoming he was in answering the media's questions. According to the Daily Caller, there isn't anything that's part of the president's health records or his overall physical fitness or any medications that he's taking that you're not permitted to tell us. Is there anything you're keeping from us for privacy reasons? Acosta asked. I can promise there is nothing that I am withholding from you, Jackson responded. I can tell you, I've done the last 4 or 5 of these. I've been involved in probably the last 6 or 7 of these, and this is hands down more information that has been put forth by any other assessment to date. According to a White House transcript of the briefing, Dr. Jackson was asked a similar question a short time later, if there was anything in the report he was specifically told by the president not to mention to the media. But Jackson replied, absolutely not. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of things here. I was like, are you okay with me mentioning this? He's like, absolutely, I don't care. A short time after that, one of the reporters noted that Jackson had been answering questions for nearly 50 minutes and asked, is that an indication of the president's desire to put all these health rumors and questions to rest once and for all? Absolutely, Jackson replied. I think the president encouraged me to come out, and he said specifically told me, he said, I want you to get there, and I want you to talk to them, and I want you answer every single question they have. As can be seen from the doctor's response to Acosta's question, as well as the similar follow-ups from other reporters later, Jackson made clear that he was being as honest and forthcoming with the media as he could possibly be, as per Trump's instruction, perhaps even more so than he typically would be in regard to any other patient and their medical information. Indeed, Jackson didn't have to tell these reporters much of anything if he or the president didn't want to, as much of it falls under the protection of the patient privacy rule known as HIPAA. Once again, President Trump and his doctor showed that this administration is truly one of the most transparent administrations in history, answering each and every question posed, no matter how absurd. You can watch the entire briefing plus the lengthy question and answer period right here. As for Acosta's pointed question and insinuation that Dr. Jackson was withholding information from the media, it should be noted that Jackson was former President Barack Obama's physician as well, and he likely didn't receive similar probing questions as to his openness and transparency in regard to Obama's health. Jim Acosta should be ashamed of himself, if he even knows what shame is in the first place. Please share this story on Facebook so everyone can see the ludicrous questions posed to Dr. Jackson by Jim Acosta and the rest of the White House press corps.